Hello, brethren, elders forever alive. It is well with you according to the will of God in Jesus' name. I am Pastor Temitope Okusoya. And what we are discussing today, it's very important. The title is Firmness. Firmness. Some Christians don't even know that our God is a very firm God. They only see this other part of God, which is, loving, kind, merciful. They hardly want to know about the firm aspect of God. And if you, as a child of God, if your father is firm, definitely, because he is your father and you're a product from him, you will learn to be firm. Brethren, we are going to speak to ourselves about the life of Samson. Now, Samson was a Nazarite unto the Lord. In the Bible, in the book of Judges chapter 13 and in verse 5, the angel of the Lord spoke to the mother of Samson that you're going to have this boy. He's going to be a Nazarite unto the Lord, and he's going to be a deliverer in the land of Israel. Deliver them from the hands of their oppressors. And according to the will of God, Samson came. Of course, they took all the necessary precautions, and everything went well. But you see, there are things in the life of Samson that you wonder. Someone that is a Nazarite, how did you get to this situation? How did you descend so low to this kind of way of life? First and foremost, you see that Samson, he just loved strange women. In Judges chapter 14 and in verse 2, he told the father, I've seen a lady in Timnath, and I want her. Marry her for me. Again, in Judges chapter 16 and in verse 1, the Bible explains to us that Samson went into a harlot. In Judges chapter 16 and in verse 4, Samson met and loved Delilah. This is a Nazarite. Okay, beyond that again, in Judges chapter 15 and in verse 18, Samson, who is a Nazarite, you believe that, okay, as a Nazarite, you'll be very, very close to the Lord, you believe in holiness, you believe in righteousness. The word of the Lord explained to us in that verse. That was the first time we saw him talking to the Lord in that verse. And what was the reason why he spoke to the Lord? He was thirsty. He said, now you have given me this great deliverance. Should I now die of thirst? I mean, in a very rude manner. And in Judges chapter 16 and verse 28, that was the second time he prayed in the whole 4 chapters. And what was he praying about this time around? Vengeance. So because they plucked out his eyes. That is the Philistines. So Lord, please, let this ear grow. Grant me this strength so that I can revenge. Now you know that all these things are not the will of God. In the same chapter 16 and in verse 30, he said, let me die with the Philistines. A Nazarite, someone that is supposed to be very close to the Lord. Our God is a holy God. It is holiness unto the Lord. But that's not the lifestyle of Samson. The Lord said, do not marry outside Israel. That is where Samson decided to go. All is escaping with women. never with any lady in Israel, but outside Israel. The Lord said, do not touch dead animals, let alone eat anything out of dead animals. In Judges chapter 14, verse 8 and 9, Samson, after killing a lion, brought out honey. When he saw honey in the carcass of the lion, tasted it. Oh, this is honey, this is sweet. And he gave to the father. You know the meaning of that, brethren? That is spiritual death. As of that time, Samson died spiritually and killed his parents spiritually, because this is practically not the will of God. Now, flee youthful lust. No, that is not the cup of tea of Samson. He prefers to go around with all these women. Now the word of the Lord said, train up a child in the way that he will go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. All this that happened in the life of Samson, whose fault is it? The fault of Samson? Of course, Samson's got his own fault in there. There's no doubt about that. But the parents. In Isaiah chapter 54 and in verse 13, the word of the Lord explained to us. The word of the Lord explained to us that our children shall be trained of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of our children. When they are trained of the Lord, they will have peace. And we, the elders too, or the parents, you will have peace. You've heard that your son in the uni has joined cult, and you decided not to do anything about it. And you say, I've spoken to him, and you think that is enough? You've heard that your daughter in the secondary school is moving around with some, evil ladies that goes about following after politicians, all in the name of money. And you said, well, I've spoken to her. Is that the end of the whole matter? Brethren, you see, this is really something we need to be very, very careful of, especially as many of us that are in the vineyard of the Lord. Why is it that some of us, we have children that are, that just walk contrary to the will of God? Why? Look at Eli. The children, totally out of the way of God. Look at Samuel. The children were not walking in the will of God. Remember David. Absalom wanted to kill the father. Why? The fault is ours, brethren, because we have refused to be firm. You need to be firm with your children. You need to be firm with them. When you give them instruction according to the word of the living God, and they behave somehow, you need to be firm. Insist on them doing the will of God. When you do that physically, spiritually, you pray for them that the word of the Lord will find a place in their hearts. And by the special grace of God, they will walk according to the will of God. You need to understand that this is the enemy at work. The plan of the kingdom of darkness is to ensure that families are scattered. But when you sit down with your children, train them according to the will of God, pray for them, when they grow up, they will not depart from it. Now, it's never too late. You might be age 60, age 65, 70. It's never too late. What you failed to do when you were 40, you can still do it now, as long as there's breath in your nostrils. Let's be firm with our children. Let's train them according to the will of God. Because as we do that, we are passing the baton over to them. So that when we go home, these children will continue the work that we started. And great will be the power of the living God on the surface of the earth as we continue to win souls, even with our lifestyle. Brethren, think about all these things, and the Lord grant you understanding in Jesus' name.